video? It's right here. Of course. I lost the, let me fix this. Can I fix you? Can I fix you? Ah, okay, I fixed you. It's fine. It's all good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Unless you don't want to see scripture, you can just see me instead. No, you don't want to do that. But before we go into the message, before we dive deep, I do want to go into the word of prayer. Before to see, because God has been speaking a lot, in my mind about everything. So I just want to come into His prayer, into His presence, and just lift up His name, and just let's just go into the word of prayer. Humbly gracious Father, Lord, I come to your throne, Lord. Lord, for whatever you have to say today, for this morning, and for whoever is listening to this, whether it be on Discord, Twitch, YouTube, whatever platform that it might be, Lord, help us to open up our hearts fully to be able to receive your word. Don't let it open it halfway, but fully. And not only just take only half of the information, but be able to receive all of it. So that we could be able to apply it to our own lives, to start examining our own lives. Because as it says in your word, Lord, is that we are called to be doers of your word and not simply hearers. I know that every message that I hear from whatever church, from whatever pastor, from whatever sermon, I always try to apply it to my own life because I don't want it to be just a simple reminder saying like, oh, yeah, I do remember this and then just go on with my life. I don't want to do that. When you're trying to speak to me, I want to be able to hold on to it and grasp on it. And I'm sure all of us will want to do that as well. And hopefully we can, Lord. And maybe some of us may hear this message, some of us may not. Maybe we'll take it as a simple reminder, or maybe God is trying to speak to us. Help us to be able to take it all in and let our actions speak for themselves and not just the words that come out of our mouths. Like you said, we're supposed to be doers. And I do all His holy gracious name. Amen and amen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that y'all been enjoying day number 3 of Super Summer Fun Times. Fun Times. I hope that y'all really enjoy the summer. I really, really do. That's the second verse. Why is the first verse not popping up? Because I never had it on Bible Gateway. Hello. There we go. Okay. As you can see, you probably already know Moses. Oh, so you probably already know what the message is about. Just by looking at it, you're gonna be doing on Moses, right? Sure. Um, something that has been what has been happening in my life, and what I've been talking about through these past few days on here is the fact of unity and being together, accomplishing things and not being alone, sad, with no one. I didn't even have any golf to play with. It said golf with your friends. I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. But I just feel like we just don't do stuff together. I just feel like we always focus on things that we want. Like I said in the first one, the first Bible study, I said that we get into our selfish desires. And then I feel like we just make excuses or go in to say it's the pastor's job to minister, not me. And that's what I said yesterday when I feel like majority of us don't even want to go out there and present the gospel when it's good news. because it said you want to go out there when you get a diploma, when you graduate, you want to celebrate, marriage. When you get out there, you're happy with your husband or wife or whoever, you know, you want to celebrate, getting that job. And it's just to me, like, if you're able to celebrate that and tell people about that, why not tell people about the gospel? Like, why not? And today I want to go over with, because there's many people in the Bible, and you might be thinking, oh, they all did stuff on their own. No one had them to help. Well, maybe, of course, of God being up there, but all of them were working alone, playing them single player games. Like they're back there playing Mario, Legend of Zelda, while I'm trying to up here play some Fall Guys or Fortnite, you know. And you might think that majority is solo missions, but there's MMOs, right? And I'm pretty sure at least someone has at least played MMOs. Sometimes you'll get a quest where you can do all by yourself. Sometimes you'll get a quest that kind of requires another person. I said this often times because it's like that. And I'm pretty sure most of y'all know the story of Moses, whether reading from the Bible or watching a good movie, The Prince of Egypt, the best Christian movie out there. Definitely not sponsored by this. I'm definitely not sponsored by DreamWorks. But you might be thinking, oh, Moses is the only one, because I'm sure y'all know the story of Moses, right? Y'all know it? Okay, we're done. All right, in a sermon, we're done. Okay, never mind. Y'all might think, oh, Moses is the only one to equip to do this. Or maybe like Jonah, he was the only one that's equipped to do this. It's hard. Like, have you ever went to a church even? Let's just before we read this, let's look at a church. All right, let's look at it. Let's look at what a church does. Let's say you just go in a church, right? You walk in there and there's just a pastor. That's it. There's one person. Sunday morning. You were thinking maybe about 40 people maybe coming in, 50, 60, or whatever, how big or small you may be going to church Sundays. And all you do is see the pastor, and they're still having stuff, and the pastor just looks around saying, like, hey, what are you doing? And saying, like, I'm coming here for church. Well, that's good. Saying, like, where's everyone else? Well, it's just me for today. And you might be thinking, oh, the pastor's only solo. He only is equipped to do this. No. Because, like I said yesterday, I feel like most of us just don't want to do it. Or just make up excuses. Like I said yesterday, it's the pastor's job. It's not my job to minister. It's not my job to stand at a pulpit or do Bible study. That's the pastor's job. How many Christian Discord servers have I been in that host Bible studies? And I wonder how many of them were actually pastors or not. I'm not a pastor. I'm just a minister. I receive information. I listen to sermons. A lot of sermons. And I take notes on them. And I try to apply, like I said in the prayer, I try to apply it to my own life. And when you see someone struggling, you're supposed to help them. You're supposed to encourage them. But oftentimes we think, only God called that person, not to me. I'm going to lead into my selfish desires. And you might be thinking, oh, that could be the same for Moses. There was no one with the Moses. All he had was a staff and go, kippa jibba boo 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 and kappa. I don't know if you took that in a Harry Potter way. I forgot the spells in Harry Potter, but you get my drift. I assume that you get my drift with that. But I want to read these verses on the screen. You can open up your Bibles if you have them, or just look at the screen. Wow, magic, ain't it? All right, let's go in. Verses 1, we're going to read this whole entire thing, 1 through 17. Are y'all ready for this? Take a deep breath. This is 17 verses. Let's take a sip of water. And let's read. Moses answered, "What if they do not believe me or listen to me and say the Lord did not appear to you?" And this is when the bush, if you remember the story where the bush was on fire just out of nowhere, and and stuff like that. This is where this cave, and he felt like he wasn't equipped. Just right there, he already asked what if question. What if this? What if that? And I feel like most of us, I know we didn't read all of it yet, but I feel like most of us would do that. What if this? What if they don't want to hear me? What if no one comes to this stream? What if no one comes to this Discord? I feel like it's pointless. Why should I do this online ministry? People call me a false prophet. You know, Christians said I should die. What if this? What if that? I feel like that's one of many excuses that we like to throw is what if question. And you know what if does? Do you know what that question starts to do if you start what if? That's basically doubting what God can do. You're basically doubting his power of what he can do within every single one of us. Because you can't fool because our minds, let's face it, I did a Bible study on this even. Our minds can't even comprehend the fullness of God because it's just too much for our puny minds to handle. It's too much to wrap around it. It's just too much. We might think that we fully understand the Bible, but every time we read it, we seem to learn something new, don't we? So I feel like that's just doubting him. But let's keep on reading. The Lord said to him, "What is that in your hand?" "A staff." It's a staff. It's a staff. I'm gonna be. You shall not pass. Okay, let me keep reading. I'm sorry. The Lord said, "Throw it on the ground." Apparently, he didn't do what Gandalf did. He just threw it on the ground. So Moses threw it on the ground, and it became a snake, and he ran from it. I mean, if I saw all of a sudden a staff turn into a snake, I would probably do the same thing. I'll be like, "Nope, nope, no, no, I'm out. Peace." But then the Lord said to him, "Reach out your hand and take it by the tail." So Moses reached out, took a hold of the snake, and it turned back into a staff in his hand. "This," said the Lord, "is so that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has appeared to you." Then the Lord said, "Put your hand inside your cloak." So Moses put his hand inside into his cloak. And when he took it out, the skin was leprous, and it has become white as snow. "Now, put it back into your cloak," he said. So Moses put his hand back into his cloak. And when he took it out, it was restored like the rest of his flesh. Then the Lord said, "If they do not believe you or pay attention to the first sign, they may believe the second. But if they do not believe these two signs or listen to you, take some water from the Nile and pour it on the dry ground. The water you take from the river will become blood on the ground." Moses said to the Lord, "Pardon your servant. I've never been eloquent." Let's see, here comes Moses again, saying, here's all the excuses. But as a guy sitting here speaking all of this, saying like, here's this, here's that. He's sitting there equipping Moses, saying like, here's the staff. Let me show you. Put your hand in your cloak. You took it out. You start to see leprosy. Put it back in and take it back out. You start to see your hand restore. And then Moses is still doubting him. Still. He's saying like, I've never been eloquent. Neither in the past, nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am too slow to speak. In my tongue, have you seen my tongue? A cat got on it. I don't know if Moses really said that, but he basically said, "I'm slow of speech and tongue." You know, he's sitting there throwing out this, saying like, this is happening, this is happening. But the Lord said to him, "Who gave human beings their mouths? Who? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who? Who gives them sight or make them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Is it? Is it not? Now go. I will help you speak and will teach you what to say. But here comes Moses again. And here comes another excuse. Here it comes. Here it comes. Hello, Hylian. Hey, Stretch. Here it comes. Yeah, I hear you in the face say, by the way.
I'm in the Discord.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Hello.
I'm doing a sermon right now. But Moses said, "Pardon your servant. Please send someone else." That's how I was when starting this ministry. When God told me to do this ministry, and some of y'all may know, some of y'all may not, I didn't want to do this, period. I was like, get someone else to do it, God. I don't know how to do a Bible study. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know much of the Bible. How am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to lead people? Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't even know how to run a Discord server. Like, I was in there coming up with excuses. And that's what Moses is doing right here. God is sitting there telling him all of this, trying to help him out, saying like this, and still Moses is still doubting him. Then the Lord angers, burned against Moses, and he said, "What about your brother?" Ooh, a brother. Okay, a brother. Aaron the Levite. I know he can speak well. He is already on his way to meet you, and he will be glad to see you. And you shall speak to him and put words in his mouth. I will help both of you speak and will teach you what to do. He will speak to the people for you. And it will be as if he were your mouth, as you were God to him. But take this staff in your hand so you can perform the signs with it. Now, this is I know we kind of went a little bit, but this is a lot to grasp. This is 17 verses, by the way. But like I said, Moses didn't feel quite equipped. You know, it's like you're doing this quest. Back to MMOs. You're doing this quest. Let's say you forget to go to the armor shop. Let's say you forgot about it. Let's say you forgot about the weapons shop as well. Let's just say you forgot about it. You know, I was playing Fortnite. Let's say you never picked up the gun. How well do you think you will do in Fortnite if you never pick up the gun? You probably do very poorly. All you have is that axe. That little starter axe. Do you think you feel equipped to be able to place number one if you never got a gun? Because you're looking for guns to better equip yourself so you can last within this battle royale. That is what you're doing. And we're supposed to trust in him. Trust in him. Because every time we do, what if this? And I struggle with that. Trust me, I struggle with what if questions. I struggle with it. But I feel like we just do this all the time. When we're supposed to trust with God. You know, Moses sitting there going after excuse, and he said, I'm not good with words. Like, God gives us a mission. God will never abandon us in his plan. We may abandon it because we may not like it. Look what happened to Jonah. God gave him a plan, and what did Jonah do? Abandoned it. He just said, nope, peace, I'm out. I'm going to go this way. I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go that way. Let's go that way. That's what he did. But still, God didn't abandon him. Jonah may abandon the quest, but God didn't. God give us stuff to be able to help us. People to help us. Like when you go into MMOs, going back to MMOs again, you get into a party. And you're probably thinking, well, it's just you and God, ain't it? Who else? Well, we have Stretch that just came in the feed. See, I'm just going to list him off right now. Is that he's offered to help.
Hello.
He has a Discord server. He is offering that. Does that really feel like a solo mission? I don't know. Slightly technical. Said, hey, I know bots. He starts saying all that stuff. Is that not a solo mission? See, people are already offering to help. They're reaching out. Because why? Because it shouldn't feel like a solo mission. Like if you see a pastor, like I said, when you go in church and you just see a pastor there, hopefully more than likely you will say to help. Hopefully you don't sit there and pass by and say like, well, I hope someone sends someone help because I'm not equipped. I mean, I just started to be a Christian. I mean, I just got born again. Uh, I mean, I don't know too well the Bible. I'm too comfortable where I'm at. Eh, excuses, and then doubt God. But here, he has his brother Aaron, the Levite. And I kind of always forget that he does because I always go off the Prince of Egypt movie. That's probably not a best way to do things, but I know I've seen that movie. I don't know when the last time I've seen that movie. I really don't. Yeah, I don't. But the thing is, they were still broken. Even though God calls them to do things. Even though they were still broken, even though we were still human beings, we're going to fall, we're going to mess up, but still, God had a plan and understood Moses. He sat there and understand, saying like, hey, I'm going to do this for you. Hey, get this staff. It will perform signs, miracles. Get the Nile. Go to the Nile River. Get the water. Pour it on dry land. It will become blood. It started going from a solo mission to a party raid. That's what it is. When you're in a party, you start to raid, you start to go out, you start to feel more accomplished, saying like, hey, we got a level 100 over there, we got a level 80 over here, we got a level 120 over there. We're feeling good right now. We can wreck that boss like that. Oh man, this is going to be so much easier instead of doing it by yourself. It may be possible to do it by yourself, but it becomes easier. Why? Because people are supposed to help. People are supposed to encourage each other. They're supposed to see the burdens on your back. What did I say yesterday or during this week with the selfish one, the first one that we did for day one? Look at the interest of others and not of yourself. Mm, I mean, this is a lot. So you probably already know what this happens. Moses go out, and so did Aaron. Aaron was sitting there saying like, "Hey, here's this and this," and Moses was like, "Boom! You shall not pass." I don't know if Moses ever did that. I mean, I would definitely laugh. That would probably be me. But still, the Pharaoh didn't want to believe that whatsoever. And you know what happened? He finally was tired. He was sick of it, and then he released him. And then he started having thoughts. He was like, "Why did I do that? I don't feel like a good king. I just let the people go. We got to go back. We got to go back. We got to stop it. We got to get him back here." Are you sure? Yes. We got to go after Moses. Been a pain. He did all of this. I'm getting my revenge. I should never let those people out. And guess what? Got out, got defeated. The Red Sea took them over. And then there was victory on the other side. There was some complaints. There was a lot that happened because people started to complain. Here comes another complaint. They're like, we feel comfortable over here. Now we're stuck because they don't see it logical. Because some of us like to see things realistically. We want to say, oh, if we can't see it happening, then it's not going to happen. It's not logical. It's not possible. That's like with science. Like, if it's not theoretically possible, then it's not. But the thing is, God can do everything, even the impossible. So, and they were sitting there saying, like, Moses, why did you bring us out here? We were better back there. Even though our life was miserable, we felt comfortable. Basically, essentially, that's what they did. but yet they still at least tried to work together. There was that one goal, that one main mission was freeing the people. And I feel like I said, I think I said this yesterday or throughout this week. I'm forgetting, but I know I said this. I feel like we stay too focused on the side missions, getting this car, making sure to pay off our bills. They're all good side quests. None of them are bad side quests. But I feel like we pay attention to that more instead of the main quest of reaching to people. I feel like we're so focused over here than on the main quest. And we all have different skill set. Aaron, what was his skill set? He spoke. He speak. Moses, what was his skill set? Oh, he just did. He was Harry Potter. Can you imagine a staff became a wand and all of a sudden you see her Legatium Leviosa? I probably pronounced that wrong. Just out of nowhere.
Leviosa.
Yeah. But the thing is, they still had skill, different skill, and it was a team effort. That's what it was. And then when they got out, they celebrate. They were like, yeah, don't you feel happy when you did that mission? Didn't you feel excited when you graduated? Didn't you feel excited when you got married? You know, those good news that I was talking about earlier. Didn't you feel at least somewhat excited? Didn't you? You shared that news. Why not share the gospel? It shouldn't be a solo mission. And we shouldn't live a single player lifestyle. We should be living out a multiplayer lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with single player games. But when you do a single player lifestyle, it's going to be tough. It's going to be harsh. But it will be easier if you switched it. Let's say you're sitting there working and playing a game, and let's say you didn't get along. What if Aaron didn't get along with Moses? What if they had something in the past? They were brothers, right? Usually, majority of the time, brothers don't get along. You saw what happened the first day, that night, with my brother just knocking on my door, and you probably heard him saying, like, hey, and drop 2 F-bombs. You probably heard that. That wasn't me getting along with him. That didn't sound like anything like that. And I was streaming yesterday, and there was no internet. He didn't bang on my door yesterday, and I was streaming all day. So I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like the internet can be super random, but I always get blamed for it. But the thing is what I'm trying to get at, is that there was a fight, there's arguments, and I wonder what will happen if that happened between Moses and Aaron. Then the mission wouldn't be success. They had that one goal in mind and they couldn't just work together. Or maybe you just took in your own selfish and said, like, hey, I think this way is better. The way that we strategize this. No, 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 no. I think this way is better. No, I'm sorry. Stop being selfish. Get rid of it. I said that on the first night. Get rid of it. We're supposed to be the same, like-minded, and have that same mindset as Him. God called us to minister. All of us. It doesn't have to mean to fully run an online ministry. Like I said, it's about the people and their souls. That's what matters the most. But I feel like majority of us just don't want to do it. And like I said, I was like, get someone else. Just like Moses said, get someone else. And I think we all said that at one point, get someone else. Get someone else. I'm not good. I'm not qualified for this. Get someone else. But they celebrate after that. Just like with the yesterdays. Remember the people? And they didn't feel like it was enough? When I said the harvest is plentiful? and the workers are few. He didn't feel like it was enough, but yet they all came back and celebrate. I wonder how many of us actually do that. And I hope that we can carry out God's mission. And hopefully we can look at the interests of others and help them out. You see them down, help them out. Everyone needs help at some point. Everyone does. I mean, if we were perfect, we wouldn't need God in the first place. If we could handle everything on our own, then we wouldn't need Him at all. So, is something stopping you from doing God's mission? Do you feel like you just don't have the skill set or the abilities to accomplish His mission? Would you think you would face more challenges if you did it solo? If you did it just you and didn't ask anyone? And if you work in a team, how can your skills and your skill set and your gifts, your talents can support others? The, Jesus is the leader of our party. He is the main leader, just like with the disciples. If some of y'all may have seen the Chosen series, beautiful and wonderful. I usually, some of y'all may know this. I don't like Christian TV shows or movies, but there's some things that I do like, and I do love the Chosen. I do love the way it's being presented. I do. And to be completely honest, like they were all following Jesus. They may have doubts, and they all did. Maybe some of them didn't work along. What look at Peter and Matthew when they first did they get along at first? No. When Jesus asked, "Hey Matthew, follow me," Peter was like, "Hey, do you know what that dude has done for us for years? Jesus, do you know what he did? He collected the taxes. He didn't care about no one. No, 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 no. Jesus. I'm just looking out for you. I don't think. I really don't. Hear me out. I don't think we should let Matthew join our party. And I feel like we do that at times. Where we look at someone and look at them and maybe you heard stuff about them. Like there was rumors floating around about me. People were calling me a false prophet, telling me to avoid me like the plague. And maybe you just don't want to talk to me. Maybe all of this that I'm saying is false doctrine. Because a lot of times people say this is false doctrine. When I'm literally going to the Word and I try to understand it, like if something is wrong, if something's off, I would love to be corrected. But if you just sit there and tell me you're a false prophet and you should die, that's not encouraging or helping me at all. To them, they might see that. To me, I don't see that. And I feel like we do that, saying like, that dude has too much problems. You know, that dude cusses so much. I don't think I can get along. He sounded weird. He's creepy. He or she is just really like bugging me, getting on my nerves. Like, for example, me and my brother. I can literally take this example. Do I ever want him to be in my party? In my mind, in my heart, probably not. And if Jesus started, I feel like I would start questioning it just like Peter did. And I feel like we would all do the same. We're supposed to live a multiplayer lifestyle. And I really do that. I really do hope that you can. Don't do it alone. Just don't. Start seeing people, helping them out. Seeing them struggling, help them out. Someone is struggling to get groceries. Help them out. Someone is struggling to run a church. Maybe the church, like, and where I'm at, and this might have changed. Someone told me, and this was like a few months ago, someone told me there's over 200 churches in this area that don't have a pastor. That's sad. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. So I hope that this story of Moses hopefully helped you, because he doubted, and I feel like we skip so ahead with the plagues, with the raining frogs, or all the way to the Red Sea, and don't look at how it started, or look at the before, like when Prince of Egypt, when it first started out. You know, he was just a baby. All babies were supposed to be killed. They were like, after the babies, gotta kill every single one of them. Not Moses. And he drifted to the other side. And he started to become like them. And then he started to see the truth. And he ran away. He started to feel in his heart that this is wrong. Even though other people, the other people couldn't see it. But Moses did. And I wonder how many of us can at least do that. That's what happened before God told him to do this mission. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Holy gracious Father, Lord, I come to your throne, Lord. Lord, hopefully we took all this in. We may have heard this before, heard this story maybe multiple thousands of times, whether it's through that movie or through another sermon. And then seeing it from maybe this perspective. And hopefully it can say to us, and like, hey, let's actually see and help people. Let's go to where they are at. And maybe we can start having that heart of humility, Lord, to be able to drop our preference, drop what we like, so we can meet them where they are at and try to understand them where they at. Just like you did with Moses. Just like you did. You came to him, you met him where he was at. You understood the faults and everything, and you still yet provided for him for his mission that you have for him. And hopefully we can do the same. Hopefully you will be able to provide us and equip us. Because you do call us, you do call the unequipped to be equipped. Just because we're not good in some areas doesn't mean that you want us to be there. And I feel like we just look at that. So help us to understand your mission. And your mission is to go out there to every nation and baptize them in the Father, Son, and Spirit. You said that in Matthew. That's where we're supposed to go out there. Spread your gospel. Seeing lives being changed. And like I said, I feel like that's what matters the most. Because I'm sure no one wants to see a person go through hell. As Christians, as followers, we should know what hell is going to be like. Because it says it in your word. It's nothing like heaven, and both of them are real. And hopefully we can actually do the mission and not just sit there and come up with tens and thousands of excuses or go, what if this, what if this, what if I can't reach that person, what if that person doesn't want to hear me, that person blocked me, what should I do, I like, how am I supposed to get in contact with, like, we just sit there and ask all these kind of questions, and then we start doubting your power when we should fully trust you and know what you are doing. instead of doubting you. And hopefully we took all of this information in our heart, and hopefully we examine our own lives and whatever we are going through whatever season, trial, storm, that we should know that you'll provide for us. As our character will produce perseverance, as it says in your own word. And hopefully we can be able to step out of faith and be able to say, God, you got this. We can do this. Because we should know that you can do everything. Even though we may not see it, even though it may seem impossible, but we should know that you can do it. So as we examine our own lives, Lord, help us to be doers and start putting it into action. Hopefully we don't let this be a simple reminder and then let it go by the wayside. Hopefully we can be able to carry it out and sit there and actually do it. And I hope that we can. And I do in His holy gracious name. Amen. And amen. Amen. I hope that y'all I couldn't say enjoy. Did I have something stuck in my throat? Hopefully not. Let me check this out. We're good. Alright. But I hope that y'all enjoyed the Bible study. Since Stretch is here, let's talk to him. Let's ask to see what he thinks. Hey Stretch, what do you think of this Bible study?
I think it's pretty much where you talk about Moses about with the um just the disciples that he didn't I guess he didn't want to believe that, right? Because I I am a beginner Christian, so when I got saved, I was in another church, and I didn't understand what God is, but when I knew how He is, then He saves people. So
Well, did you get anything out of this message?
Yeah.
What did you get out of it?
That I don't have to go to a bottomless pit of fire, and I can go to heaven.
Okay. I just feel like Family Feud going, good answer, good answer. But yeah, I for everyone that's listening in as well, I hope that y'all at least enjoyed this Bible study for what it is, and hopefully, like, you learn something to grasp from it. Because I was sitting there, like I said, and just applying it to my own life. Like if someone asked me, how can you apply it to your own life, so that maybe you're having trouble applying to your own life. Maybe you are. And here's an example from me. Like, if you were to ask me the same question, like, how can I apply it to my life? Well, first off, I was saying because I didn't know what else to do with the ministry. I was doing for solo for so long because I had other Christians that came in there saying all of this is false, saying that I should die, and then going to other Christian servers, tell them saying like, hey, if you see a Hylian Hufflepuff, if you see this individual, ban him, block him. And I don't know how many servers that really reached. And someone told me, hey, you should go after that. Like, and actually sit there and try to prove yourself, saying like, but still, it's like, I can't change people's minds. I don't think anyone else can. All we could do is just give them, what we experience and what we go through. And that's kind of part of our testimonies that we all
So,
have.
so pretty much what I do is, I on Twitch I go to other people's streams and pretty much, you know, um, I just want to be friends with people that are not believing in God. Like, pretty much, I go to the LGBTQ streams, want to become friends. No, they didn't want to be my friends. You know why? They just they feel like if you don't support the their gay rights, that's sin in the Bible,
Yeah, but
saying that you can't.
I don't want to go into that because it can be a sticky situation, really sticky.
No.
Um, yeah, that's like a whole nother Bible study in itself.
Mm.
So because there's better ways of handling that, a lot better ways. It just really kind of takes some time, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand. But you're always welcome here. Whether you want to support it or not, you're still welcome here.
Right.
Back to how I'm gonna apply it to my own life. I have been streaming. I haven't given up on that, and so far people came by and decided to help out. Stretch decided to help out. Slightly technical, like people decides to actually help out. But the thing is, I said this to them even yesterday, and y'all probably heard this. I think we were either playing Fortnite or something else. I don't know
We were playing.
what game. I don't know which game we were playing that we were talking about this because there was a lot of games that were played yesterday. But I essentially said I would need more love and support. Why? Because I have some past issues. And you're probably thinking, what is that past issue that's blocking you, Hylian? Well, it's because I used to have people that wanted to help, and then when we rebuild the server, this ain't the first time. Trust me, this is not the first time to rebuild. It is the first time to combine, I believe, but it's not the first time to maybe rebuild. I had people that were there for me and sitting there, and then once the server was built, and once we announced it to the public, a lot of those people that helped me started to leave. They didn't give me an answer whatsoever. And that's what's kind of holding me back. That's why I keep asking, for love, more love and support if this is where God wants it to go. Because I have been praying because I want it to go in God's direction, not my direction. You know, that's what I would like for it to do. So that's how I would apply it to my own life. Is just sit there and still try to do what God calls you out to do, despite of everything that goes on. Like my brother, he came and banged my door. Guess what? I was still doing God's mission. It did put me in a downer mood, but still, I'm still doing God's mission. I'm still persevering. Like I said, character. When we go through those seasons, when we go through our trials, we start to produce perseverance. We feel like we're starting to get stronger through each season that we at least go through as individuals. Maybe not physical stronger because I definitely don't feel. I definitely am not physical stronger every time I go through a season, but I am a bit spiritual and maybe a bit emotional stronger than I was before. So, but yeah,
I
yeah.
I want the I really want the server already fully built what I have already. So like pretty much like um I just want like a a nice clean um server that we can all talk about just God or Jesus, or like have some fellowship time, worship time, prayer time.
Well, like I said, I will. I'm gonna look at it soon, and I'm also gonna be, and I also been praying about it. Like you may want it, but I'm also trying to make sure if this is what God wants, because we all have stuff that we want. So, but anyway, I hope that y'all enjoyed the Bible study, like I said, and enjoyed day 2 so far. And day 3, this is day 3. I've been so used to saying day 2. That's yesterday. That's yesterday. This is not day 2. This is day 3. Unfortunately, this is our last day. And what are we going?